Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hi, dear friends. We are back again today with our book Living Spring, and today's chapter is chapter 76 Spiritual Yeast. Just get this better. There we go. Welcome to everybody who is listening with us and learning together with a new chapter from Emmanuel by Chico Xavier. Yeast. Do you know that a little yeast leavens the entire lump? And it's Paul, 1 Corinthians 5 verses 6. Yeast is a substance that excites other substances. Our life is always spiritual yeast, with which we influence other people's lives. Nobody lives alone. We are influenced by thousands of expressions from other people's thoughts, and thousands of other people are unavoidably influenced by ours. The waves of our influences become attuned to the emission of all those who know us directly or indirectly, and they weigh in the balance of the world for either good or evil. Our words elicit words from those who listen to us, and any time we are not sincere, the person with whom we are conversing is probably not being sincere either. Our manner and habits generate manners and habits of the same nature around us, especially in those who are beneath us in knowledge and experience. Our attitudes and actions create attitudes and actions of the same level amongst those around us, thereby interfering with the development of their mental forces. Consequently, the only procedure for renewing oneself spiritually is by accepting the suggestions of the good and practicing them in, intensively in what we do. However, in the origin of our determination lies the idea. The mind is therefore the seat of how we act personally wherever we are. Thought is spiritual heat. First of all, it establishes attitudes. Second, it creates habits. Next, it governs expressions and words through which the individuality influences life and the world. Thus, if it has been regenerated, a person's thoughts will be straight and clean on the pathway that leads to the Lord. Beloved friends, there has been a lot of teaching in the last month, or in this month, or in January, about our thoughts. If we see that from around the world, we are being shown that our thoughts are very important. Then we realize that the Great Spirit wants us, especially still in the beginning of the new year, to focus on our thought process. If we have listened to all the teachings that came through Spirit Society of Virginia, through Kodak Radio, and a lot of others as well, we will see that we are being asked to focus on our thoughts. And again today, we are being reminded by Emmanuel. A great book that I usually study each year in the beginning of the year is Thought and Life. and again also through Emmanuel, by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. So Thought and Life explains to us about our whole thought process, how we influence the world around us, everyone around us, and how powerful our thoughts are, in the good, also in evil. And this is why we are being asked to be mindful of what we think. So let's just start at the beginning. And we go through this, and he says yeast is the substance, and he uses yeast as an example. He says yeast influences, excites, he says, excites other substances. Our life is always spiritual yeast. So what Emmanuel is saying is that we influence everything and everyone around us. And it is not only through our actions, it is what we think. If we talk to someone but we are upset, they will pick up on on how we feel because we emit something that they pick up. Maybe they can't put it into words. How many times have we not feel well and we know that something is not is off because one or other person in our home is not feeling well because we are influenced. During the COVID, we know that especially in the beginning, when it was mostly the worst, and we still had time to get used to what is going on, we felt um, heavy and trapped and all these big emotions. And mostly those emotions were from the whole, which means it's not all our emotions. And this is why we need to be mindful of our own emotions. When we are mindful of our emotions, we would know what emotion are ours and which are not ours. And this is why it's important to know also our thoughts, because we know that thought is life, which means we give life. This is part of our creation, helping to co create in this world. And what are we co creating? We need to be co creating the good, spreading the good, feeling the good, and and like Emmanuel says in Thought and Love, molding the good, so that everyone that comes into contact with us will find rest. When you are calm and you speak calmly, and you're in the presence of someone that is truly peaceful, truly happy, you will also feel peaceful and happy. If someone speaks in a wonderful, lovingly tone, you will also calm down and be loving. And that is why we need to concentrate on what we think. What do we send when we think of someone or something? What do we send? Is it a blessing or curse to them? And this is why it's important to know also our thoughts, because we sorry beloveds, our network are very, very slow. So please forgive me. Um so what are we emitting, beloved friends? So it is easy if we get annoyed with something or someone to send these energies, but what are we creating for them? Because, like Emmanuel is explaining, is that we affect those around us. So, are we sending love? When we are busy with washing clothes, are we doing this with love? Because all these energies will affect those. who wear the clothes. So in all things we do, we need to remind ourselves to emit all these beautiful energies of love. And then he says our manners and habits generate manners and habits of the same nature around us, especially in children. If we have children, they will, because we have a mirror brain, they will mirror what we do. They will say what we do, especially when they go to school and they come home with all these new ways, and we have to listen very carefully to help them because they are amongst other children and teachers that maybe is not in the same mindset as we are, so that we can remind them constantly of being mindful of what they hear and how to use that. So, and especially how we speak to our children, how do we correct them? Do we correct them with love, or do we correct them with anger and maybe punishment? And then they will go out and do the same. So, what do we want? If we want peace, we need to admit it. If we want happiness, this is what we have to give up. Emmanuel says, our attitudes and actions create attitudes and actions of the same level amongst those around us. For what we do touches the realm of other people's observation. Sorry, excuse me. So what we do is if we um what we give out, others will mimic and we do the same. If we are amongst those who are busy with good things, we will also be inspired to do good. But if we are amongst those, sometimes we have to be mindful so that we don't get in the same attitude as they are. If someone are angry or maybe aggressive, we need to be calm, be patient, and maybe don't say anything and be prayerful. So this is why it is so important for us to observe our surroundings, to see what we give out, where we are, not judgment, because judgment also is not a great thing, a good thing to send out, but passionate love, understanding. He says, consequently, the only procedure of renewing oneself spiritually is by accepting the suggestions of the good. So, the suggestions of the good. This is why it's important so that we can listen to our thoughts, observe it, be rational. In Spiritism, we are being educated to be rational, to have a rational mind, to take something and look at it and search for the good in it, and then let all the other things go. And practicing them intensively in what we do. So it is not only through that, but to give it out. However, in the origin of our determination lies the idea. The mind is therefore the seat of how we act personally wherever we are. So Emmanuel saying everything starts with a thought because thought is our being. This is our spiritual being where everything originates from. Thought is spiritual heat. First of all, it establishes attitudes. Second, it creates habits. Next, it governs oppressions and words, expressions and words, through which the individuality influences life and the world. Thus, if it has been regenerated, a person's thoughts will be straight and clean on the pathway that leads to the Lord, because all good things lead us to our beloved Master, to be connected with the higher spirit so that we can be of service, because this is why we are here. So if we work on our thoughts, we will be open and acceptive to the higher spirit. Thank you so much again for joining me today, beloved friends. God bless. And we will see each other next week, God willing. Thank you so much. Bye bye.